Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne. Welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. Welcome to your love connection and featured readings for the first half of October. We are here. It feels strange. It feels strange to say it, but I feel incredibly grateful to be here with you. I hope you're doing amazingly well. I'm actually recording these at the latter part of September, but whenever you hear these is perfectly acceptable. That word was acceptable. Okay, so I can go right way into the segue of we are in a Mercury retrograde we're in the shadow period as I'm recording these, but it's coming within the week. And then as you're watching these for October, it will be through the 18th of October, and it is in the sign of Libra. So Libra, there's a lot of predominance in Libra. We're in Libra season. We still have Mercury in the sign of Libra in retrograde until it goes forward again and then stays in Libra till I believe November 3rd. And then we also have Mars in Libra till the 30th of October, which it then turns into Scorpio. We go into Scorpio season on the 22nd. We are also in full force fall, which is just one of my favorite times of the year. And there's a lot of Libra energies, and that is about predominantly, it is about love, of course, Venus ruled, okay, love, relationships, connection, money, magic, feminine energy, intuition, sensitivity, sensual activities and indulgences, and also just keeping as much of a balanced perspective and lifestyle that you possibly can, particularly during a retrograde, because it can really slow us down and throw us off our game if we're not aware and prepared. And that's why I like to bring it up. It happens I guess next year we'll have 4, a shorter one, every year, and it takes about 3 weeks, but with the shadow period on either side, it's closer to almost 2 months. But it's all about introspection and to really kind of review, renew, relax, retreat, remind ourselves, about something obviously very important that we need to focus on at that time. Once again, with Libra, I want to say it's the balancing and the honesty and truth and love that we have for others and certainly ourselves, but relationships as a whole. And I always say my love connections are for all types of love. So I'm going to pick the featured sign right now. And those that are new, I have a format. I pick a featured sign every day as I go around my astrology wheel from Aries to Pisces. We are on the sign of Taurus today, and the highlighted sign is really just Spirit. It's picked right in front of you. Spirit comes through me as a conduit and wants to share this particular other sign with you, and it could be the energy of that sign. It could be the actual person that you're with already, or somebody coming in with these characteristics and energies. Certainly a feeling. Maybe you have a lot of this particular, quality or element in your natal chart, your personal natal chart, in addition to your sun sign, which is what the readings generally are about. But there's way more to us than the sun sign, I always say. And today's beautiful featured sign is the earth element. The Venus ruled, like Libra, so there's a beautiful, harmonizing energy with that. Grounded, strong, sensual, practical, luxury-loving Taurus, the money sign, as they say and have said historically. So Taurus, we're going to pick your highlighted connection. And let's see what Spirit would like you to know specifically. And bear in mind, I'm going to be reading 4 major categories from the Tarot that I picked for this month. It's a brand new deck. I'm still learning it, but I really, really like it, as well as the 2 oracles. So stick around because there's information for every single sign watching, certainly the Taurus, but you may have a moon, rising, or Venus placement, which would also be appropriate for the readings, okay? So I'll take a deep breath and let Spirit do the work here. You have Aries. How interesting. Aries actually was the first sign yesterday, and they had, I want to say Scorpio, I wrote it down. No, it was Pisces. We also just came through a full moon in Pisces. Let me just say to you, everybody, Taurus, it's a beautiful, beautiful energy for you. The element of water, which is what Pisces is, and Scorpio and Cancer, with Earth is an amazing, just natural, beautiful, harmonizing and complementary energy in life, but also in the rudimental aspects of life. For example, Earth requires water to keep it moving and molding and to be able to plant things in it, right? It's essential. Well, it's essential for all of us. So that water is so important and so much a part of the growth of the two of you, you know, for lack of a better word, to simplify it, especially during a retrograde. Trust me, that's a real effort at times. So I really, really like that for the Pisces full moon, and whatever came to light was really important for you to be aware of it certainly through the end of September and onward into October. You might be feeling it past that. But Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the fire. Aries is a cardinal sign, as is Libra. Cardinals represent many things, but they're initiators, they're doers, they like to keep busy, they like to interact, you know, and speak about things and teach and, you know, just bring leadership to people and qualities, you know, as well as the season. They bring in a season. Well, spring is the season that Aries brings in. They're the first sign of zodiac, like I said. They're very familiar with number one, first season, first sign of zodiac. They start the astrology season, okay? It starts in March. They're just born leaders. They just don't know any different. They're very fast, very spirited, very, you know when they're there. They have this confidence you cannot mistake. They just are used to having that, you know, first child kind of aspect and attitude about them. So it's interesting because during Libra season, that is the polar opposite of Libra, but Aries and Libra have a wonderful, you know, polarity about them for that reason, you know, both apart from each other, but both recognizing that Libra represents the house of relationships. So Aries has a lot, if you have Aries in your chart, or you know Aries people, they're going through a good amount of introspection about the relationships they've been in, whether they want to get it to another level, whether they want to say goodbye. They could be in that kind of crossroads right now. And then I'll finish it by saying that the planet Chiron, which is known as the wounded healer, where, you know, through our lifetime, we have to learn and go through different relationships and struggles and challenges and beautiful things in order to heal the parts of us that need to. And we never know more about ourselves than when we're in a relationship. So it's a key component. So that's what's happening with Aries. And you might recognize that in yourself as well as a highlighted connection right now. You're really feeling the sensitivity of course, being a sensual sign like you are, Taurus, and the Venetian, you know, feminine, intuitive hits are really coming through. Certainly with that full moon in Pisces is extremely intuitive, extremely creative. A mutable sign that likes to just continue to learn and to open up to things and to expand our minds and our lives. And you know, there's no boundaries, if you will, with the whole archetype of the Pisces, which the full moon represented as well. Maybe, you know, setting new boundaries comes to mind, or eliminating the boundaries that you've set and you're blocked inside of yourself. Now, you may be a little slower. You're a fixed sign as a Taurus. So you may be slower on the punch to want to do things, but you are dedicated, steadfast, determined is another way to put a stubborn, you know, connotation on the fixed sign aspect. With the Aries energy, they're kind of bringing you out and just making you want to be more impulsive and want to try something you haven't. It's spirited. It's like, yeah, why not? You only live once. I mean, I think a lot of us have a different feeling about our lives after last year and have really come into that Aryan kind of feeling. And it's your own life. It's your own leadership. It's your own choices, you know, that authoritative kind of air about Aries is very much there. You know, they will absolutely work as hard as they can to be a good friend, a good partner, a good work, you know, partnership. They're honest. They're like a child when it comes to, you know, their unbelievable nature of being completely just out there and not even, necessarily having the proper tactics or, PC as it were, but you can appreciate them because it's real. It's the real deal. Like a child says exactly what they're feeling. That's what you get. It's real, and you want that. You yourself are like that too. You can appreciate that, and I've known many Tauruses and Aries combinations which work extremely well because number one, you're right next to each other on the zodiac. Okay, so you definitely kind of by osmosis understand each other's energies, and yes, they're different. Fire and earth are extremely different and quite polarities, but they also have some fundamental beautiful commonalities that they can really build when they're in the right energy, right? And there's the love language and the caring and all the other things that come into the love connections in our life that are very, very strong, and I would say very solidified and long-term. So having said that, I will move on to the 4 major categories, and I am using for the first time this month my new deck called the Hush Tarot. Now, this is not one that I would have normally picked, and I found it just called out to me. And it is definitely a combination of the spirits in all of us and the symbolism and archetypes of that, but as well as the combination of earth and animals all combined, which is beautiful for you, Taurus, right? Now, I will mention as well, as I'm shuffling a little more, that we do have the very strong, even during, I believe, the full moon, don't quote me on that, because I'm still a learning enthusiast about astrology, but I listen to very, very knowledgeable wisdom, of very long-term astrologists about the effects on us and the messages and the cycles that come through with astrology, which is really what it is. And what's being said is that, Uranus is the planet of unpredictability, strength, fire, open, freedom seeking, no constraints, no boundaries, no borders, right? And that is in your sign, Taurus, so it's really kind of an oxymoron because you're quite conservative a lot of times. You like doing things in a systematic way. You're not big on change, You'll do it the same way forever if you had your choice, right? And sometimes life and the universe comes in and says, well, guess what? Changes are coming. And that's exactly what's happening. But I think you're okay with this. I think you're really feeling this motivation inside of you to, okay. And once I learn it and once I, become more creative with that beautiful Venetian energy in you, which is about creativity, you feel like you could become just this whole new brand or, just renewal of so many different capacities. So let us see what this wonderful beginning new kind of energy of Aries with you highlighted and all of your connections have to say for the month, first half of October. The first card always is the under the category of overall energies that bring you to this reading and what's happening right now. So you have, wow, you saw how much I've been shuffling. This is the same, well, may not have been in the first position. I believe that it is though, but I could be mistaken. You might want to read Aries because there's a really strong indication to me that there's something important for sure of Aries. And if it didn't happen during Aries season this year, which is once again March, latter part of March into April, latter part of April, 22nd of March to 22nd of April. It is a definite energy of Aries. You may have that, as I said, in your natal chart. You may be around Aries or fire signs as well. But it's specifically Aries and a parent, an authority figure, some kind of institution that's run by an Aries. You don't know necessarily, but it's very prominent. And so what you have for your first message, I'll be darned, I don't have my glasses. I'm so sorry. I'm going to see what I can do though. I really am, because this is a visual, and it also, I pick up a lot. I do the symbolisms and the meanings with the cards, but a lot of it's intuitive. And you actually have the 8 of Swords. And I'll tell you, this is one of those things where we self-prophecy kind of, the air signs are the swords, okay? The air, the Libra, we're in the season of Libra. the mind, the expansion of our mind, you know, our thoughts, our words, our connections, our expressions. You know, too many thoughts sometimes, certainly with air signs. You may have air in your chart as well. It's just been very, very confusing and frustrating and difficult, and you know, it's caused you more stress than I think would ever be necessary, because it's within your mind. You know, this is the thing we can control. I always say that. Sounds easier said than done, I know, believe me. But the reality is, as you can see with this depiction too, with the Rider-Waite-Smith, it's a woman who's blindfolded and has 8 swords all around her, like she's completely confined, right? And incarcerated, if you will, and unable to free herself. But au contraire, it is actually not that way at all. You can simply remove the blinds, and you can see these swords are very loose, and it's really in our mind. It's what we contrive and how we create these worries and things that don't have to be there. So the best thing you can do with the retrograde and the confusion of communications, which is also relative to this, I would say, you know, not understanding, or maybe someone's not hearing you and understanding you and really listening. It's a short-lived thing, you know, and you can absolutely change it as quickly as it comes in. Believe it and sit and do your wonderful grounding energy work. You know, you love nature, you love the feeling you pick up, you're very intuitive, and you can get the real lowdown and the real guidance you need when you get out of your mind. Okay, Taurus? So that's important. That's how you're going to recognize where you've been, and recognize that you don't want to be there, and you want to clear that away. You want to clear that out, which I like, because it is a beautiful analogy of what we do, the mind is a wonderful thing, but it can also be very, very destructive and very difficult at times. So we want to have it work in our favor always, and to take away those worries. We don't know what's happening in the future. We want to know, and a lot of us are psychic and intuitive. I get that. I've had premonitions. But for the most part, when we worry, it's only because of things that have happened in our past, and we're comparing notes, and you just can't always bank on that being the case. Okay, you might be very pleasantly surprised, in fact. So as we move on to the journey and the next category and the messages therein, this will be the possible blessings or obstacles. So let's see what Spirit has to say for you in regards to that. And you have wow, I was hoping I could do it so badly, but it doesn't look like I can. So it's I want to say the Ace of Cups. I really do, but let me go really quickly, okay? And I apologize. I'm going to put this down, and you know, just have you maybe count to, I don't know, 4 or something, because I'm going to have my glasses in like 2 seconds. And once again, I apologize. I was doing readings earlier. Be right back. Thank you so much. Ta-da! I really appreciate it. Here it is. Yeah, no, it's had a couple private readings, or 1 private reading today, I'm sorry. And, you know, I had things moved around. King, it is the King of Wands. Okay, the King of Wands. Well, this is the fiery strength and how amazingly perfect Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the King, the mature, the gifted, the knowing, the experienced, the dedicated, passionate strength, courage that we all want. And that's what's being demonstrated in your life right now with either a person or what you're feeling inside and what you fully believe and trust in. And you know, that passion is what really carries us through. It really, truly does. Emotion is essential as far as manifesting. Ideas start in our mind, right? Just making sure they're the ones that are going to be for our highest good. And there you go. You have this beautiful recognition of how how incredibly powerful and capable you are. And as a Taurus earth sign, you have that anyway. It's just you're more grounded and solid in that way. Fire kind of takes you up and kind of gives you experiences and epiphanies maybe, and motivates you to get out of that same routine, okay? We want that. We need that. It's exciting. And like I said, I know and I feel that you're opening up to that, Taurus. Beautiful illustrations. Just absolutely gorgeous, and so I would consider that a blessing. You absolutely have someone, now this is the second time, who's wanting you to know that they're in your court, in your love situation, in your, work. Like I said, a partnership is somebody wants to really be there and to help you to the next phase, if you will. And so the third category is that of finances. Well, you are the ruling planet as far as money. It is known throughout history with, that's the way I pronounce history now, I guess, history, that you just have the Midas touch, And the Venus ruling planet doesn't hurt any, but it's also been from really tried and true hard work, like dedicated, it's a system that works, and you just have this uncanny, manageable ability with money. So you're very good at telling people ways to, consolidate or invest, and, it comes from experience. So I like that a lot. So let's see what, Spirit has to say for you under the category of finances. And you have another king. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. There's so much maturity and knowledge and wisdom in this reading so far. And it just happens to be you. Under the category of finances, which I just said, is the King of Pentacles. Pentacles are the earth sign. Pentacles are the practical, the earthly, grounded, like what we can feel, see, touch, work hard, toil, and then reap the benefits. It's just that natural instinction that you have to know what works and to stay steadfast about it. And the king has done very, very well for themselves. So I feel like that's where you are. And even if last year made a difference or dented in some form, it's definitely coming back, Taurus. And that is what Uranus will do. It'll bring in stuff unexpectedly and it'll take it away just as quickly. So last year, many, many people and institutions and businesses did better than they'd ever done. And then you have other people that are saying, oh, I've never experienced such, scarcity, I suppose, which is obviously a mindset, but you know where I'm going. Not you at all, not a majority of you. And you're just hanging in, you just never ever give up. And that's the beauty of it. So I love that. And mind you, during this Libra season, and even in Scorpio season, which is extremely powerful and all about transformation and, rising above and bettering ourselves and never giving up, and secondaries, another fixed sign like yourself, it is about just powerful will and knowledge and, just comforts, luxury, what you love and, appreciate so much. And that's wealth, right? Your health, your well-being. I was starting to say in Libra season, making sure you're keeping the balance, okay? If you haven't gone on vacation, I highly recommend it. It is absolutely beautiful this time of year in the fall. One of my favorites. I never knew that as a child. I always thought it was about summer or spring. No, the fall is phenomenal. So hopefully you're able to do that. And then when the retrograde clears and, the dust settles, you can go forward and just really immerse yourself in all this beauty and luxury you have and well-being. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's what's coming off of these energies for you. So the final category is surprises and wishes. As I said, Uranus is also in the sign is the ruling planet of Aquarius. Aquarius happens to have the benevolent, unbelievably, fortunate opportunity, life-altering, changing planet of Jupiter in their sign for the remainder of the year, and as well as Saturn. So, very, very different. One very freedom-seeking as well, because it's Uranus that rules Aquarius, and Saturn that keeps us on track, that taskmaster, that time, time is money, time is important. Put forth the effort and you will receive the rewards afterwards, usually 2.5-year stints in each sign. So that'll be happening through next year. And I think it's excellent for, well, it's easy for you, quite frankly, because you're used to, you know, toiling and working hard. It's just who you are. It's in your nature. And because you know what's coming, you know the benefits and the gifts. So I love that. But the surprises, and I mean, it could be amazing surprises, or I don't know. What are you wishing for? The Seven of, oh, I got this yesterday too. The Seven of Swords. So I was wondering if I was accurate about this. I'm so sorry to say that to you, but this is a newer deck and it doesn't have the pictures to refer to. It has the definitions and the meanings, which I know otherwise. I pulled this out as a Seven of Swords, and I'm wondering if it's the Wands, because they both have the little knife on top. And 7 is about working through difficulties. Let me put that right out there for you. It's surprises and wishes. Also, what I want to believe about it being the 7 of Wands today versus yesterday when I believed it was the Swords, for whatever reason, you know, the 7 of Wands is you being on top of your game and defending your position, come hell or high water. And by the way, it's resonating so much to me for you as being the Wands. Now you can see this little crow or this little crane. I don't know birds, but I love them. And it speaks of messages, but it also says that you are standing strong and defending your rights and your position. You're not going to quit. You're not going to stop. And by the way, everybody is below you, and all the wands is the fire and the energy and all that, and it's surrounding you, and people are enforcing and you know, standing with you, but you're in charge, okay? You're in charge, and if that's a dream or a wish or a surprise to you that you suddenly become in charge of some, you know, business and you're giving an offer or a promotion, I would go for it, okay? Because you're doing really well, and it's only going to add to your future, you know, stability and security. But you feel really, really, really powerful. And it may be a wish. You may have wanted a certain promotion or raise or something, or starting your own business, for heaven's sake. I would only suggest that you sign on that dotted line. Perhaps, if possible, I mean, life goes on. We live our lives all the time, and you have to make contracts, sign contracts. If you can postpone it till the 18th of October and after, I would highly recommend that. Most of the time when there's a new job or position involved, it takes time. So just reading the fine line, double checking, you know, and what's in the contract and so forth is perfect. But I love this. So that's a beautiful, it could be a beautiful surprise. Could be one you're actually wanting and manifesting as well, because you're great at manifesting. But I love this. I mean, what powerful, wonderful, and helpful guidance that's being brought to remind you to stay out of your mind. Or if you're around people that are just constantly worrying and fretting and, you know, causing confusion, just, you want to distance yourself, okay? Those are always the best words of encouragement that I can bring to you. Sometimes it's easier than others, but I think with a lot of people being more isolated in the last year and a half, it's probably easier than it's ever been. It's probably the best choices as well. I'm sure it is, actually. So I'm going to finish your reading, beautiful Taurus, with the 2 oracles that I picked for the first half of the month of October. And I do want to say that, yeah, the new moon is on the 6th of October in Libra. Another opportunity to really put out your intentions for love and fairness and justice and beauty in your life and the luxuries that you choose. Make it all happen. Think even bigger and say and ask the universe, this is what I'm asking, but bring me even more, you know, because the universe is so vast and with so much endless possibilities that you don't want to curtail or, you know, yeah, you don't want to shorten, or what's the word? I used it earlier. It's an easy word, but you don't want the scarcity. You don't want to have that mindset. You want big and abundant and unlimited kind of thoughts, okay? You'll be surprised. It's pretty wonderful, and things can just open up, you know, instantly. Once again, with Uranus in your sign for some time now. It'll be through the 2025, 26. So this is the beautiful oracle of the star seeds. We are all star seeds. We are all incredible energy, and we learn so much from each other, and We bring in what we ask for a lot of times, and also messages come strictly to help and guide us in our journey here. So for you, for the first half of the month, beautiful Taurus, with all of your relationships and your deepest connections, you have the messenger. And the messenger says, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. Sounds pretty much like a Libra energy to me. So if that has been a little awry and you don't feel like that's where you would like it to be, you really just need to focus and have the intention with the new moon, especially on the 6th of October in Libra, to provide that and bring that into your life. Okay, it's really that simple. And I'm going to read to you what it says specifically under the messages for you. And that would be, okay. The words associated are bringing harmony and balance, as I said. You're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetime to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to see the light. The crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, which is what Libra is as well, as far as the balance and the scales. Libra is a masculine sign, as an air sign. It's just attributed to the masculine duality. Venus is an extremely feminine, one of the most feminine energies, and that is the ruler of yourself, Taurus, and of Libra. So there is that balance again. And to have both and be in balance is a beautiful place, and where we all strive to be. Being in touch with both is a very beautiful place to be. So many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius. I believe that's how it's pronounced, often appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine energy exist in harmony, to ensure greater balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that all masculine and feminine energies exist within all of us. Okay, so the starseed main inquiry is, how are you being called to bring harmony to your life or the planet? How are you being called to honor the sacred masculine and feminine within yourself? So I hope that rings and resonates with you in some way. If it doesn't today, it may in the future. You know, you can always look back or, you know, just kind of take notes. But I am going to finish with your super attractor manifestation message, which is absolutely about manifesting the life you want by feeling it into existence. And I'm telling you, you have this incredible, deep, immense love and, you know, loyalty, and the depth of your love, you know, has no ends, if you will. So I like to let you know that and remind you of that, and know that one of the most important ingredients or components to manifesting is the emotion that we bring forth, the good feelings, right? That will come right back at you. So in closing, if you are interested and have liked the readings, I would love you to support my channel and just push the subscribe. I promise I'll have my glasses next time. That was a little boo-boo, but nevertheless, I need them, trust me. And yeah, I would love to have you be part of my tribe, and you know, just any way you can support by the like, the share, will help me to continue with the, you know, the readings. And I love what I do, so I want to be here for you regardless. So now that I've done my spiel, I do want to say the last message for you and the manifestation that you can actually create. I call these mantras or affirmations you can say over and over. Ooh, I love the dragonfly. That is a beautiful archetype of transformation and change, and allowing that to happen and feeling just this incredible urge and desire to do so right now. My ability to receive is measured by how much I practice good feeling thoughts. And this is what I just said. This must be the what would you call that? The main deck that explains the whole manifestation process, because it's exactly that. And it's put in a very simple form, but that's the one you got. So keep it going, boy, because you've got the power. And I want this for you and everybody. And I want them to know it's that simple. And who doesn't want to feel good, right? So that's up to us. That starts from this very beginning. We control our thoughts, and thoughts do become things, okay? And so here you go. Take a little snapshot. Beautiful, powerful, very, very confident, steadfast, mature energy with this reading, and great possibilities. I just embrace that for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Please take good care of yourself and come on back for your mid-month readings in October. And until then, I wish the best for you always. Take care. Bye-bye for now.